All right, thank you and welcome to channel again. Today we'll continue with our series on the new Nigerian tax law 2025. And today we want to look at one of the topics that have been well debated or discussed, which is what form of incorporation do I continue with as a business at this point? Do I do business name or do I do limited liability company? So in this series and the subsequent series, we will look at the two options and the likely tax implication so that you can understand or you can have an idea of what is likely to be the impact of either of the two options. So please like or subscribe to our videos, to our channel, so that you can benefit from this very educating and instructive content we'll be posting on the new Nigerian tax law. So we'll go ahead with the discussion and we'll first compare the two before we talk about the Nigerian tax law or the tax implication itself.
Okay, a limited liability company is a form of business ownership whereby the ownership is limited by shares. Shares are a unit of ownership that is owned by shareholders. A limited liability company, as it says in the name, is the liabilities are limited, meaning that the liabilities are bound only to the company and not the owners. A limited liability company has more structured ownership, structured ways of doing things. It's easier for them to get long-term capital investments and so on and so forth. So just basically, a limited liability company is more structured. It has its own entity, separate from shareholders, and it is more secure for shareholders. A business name is a form of ownership whereby the owners and the company are legally one, which means that any benefits, any liability, any obligation, both the company and the owners are jointly responsible for it. A business name can be classified under two: sole proprietorship and partnership. A sole proprietorship, as it says there, sole, just one person heading the business, while a partnership is 3 or 4 people coming together to create a company. So it's really not complex, just to say that a business name legally binding between the owners and the business. So proprietorship, partnership, proprietorship, 3 to 4 people.
All right, so let's go a bit further and compare business name and limited liability. What are the differences between these two forms of incorporations? And I want to discuss it under 6 headings. 1, the legal structure. When you have business name, the entity is not separate from the owner, whereas for limited liability company, the two entities are separate. And that moves to the second point, the liability. If we incorporate or you register a business name, your liability is unlimited. If anything goes wrong with that business, they can call for your assets to fulfill whatever obligation that business might have. Whereas if it's a limited liability company, your liability is restricted to the money or the shares you are holding in that company, which means nobody will come for your asset, nobody will come for whatever belongs to you. It is only what you have invested in that company that you will lose. And I know that's one of the very popular points when people are comparing the two. And I will tell you what I think after. Then in terms of ownership structure, which is the third point, typically your business name is owned by one person or partnership. 1, 2, 3, 4 people coming together to run that business. Whereas when you talk about limited liability company, it can be owned by a lot of people because the ownership is denoted by shares. So you could have as much as 49-50. When it gets to 50, by Nigerian law, you need to become a public liability company because you must become a public company. But important thing is that limited liability company could have many ownerships because it's denoted by shares. So you can bring in friends, you can bring in investors. The fourth point is the compliance requirement. For a business name, compliance requirement is very simple, straightforward, is meant to be easy, and is not as complex as limited liability company. For compliance requirement for business name, you just file the annual returns. Nothing, just pay government and confirm to them that you are still in existence. That's all they want. But for limited liability companies, the details of what you need to file is more. They sometimes request for your audited financial statement. Sometimes you can even audit that business, make a check on the business, because you are expected to have more owners and you have shares. Then the fifth point is the cost of registration. To register a business name is relatively easy. To register a business name under 10,000-15,000 naira, you have a business name. But to register a limited liability company, it costs more. You will possibly need a lawyer to draft the memo for the business. You may even want to involve a lawyer to draft a shareholders agreement. All of those things you don't need to do in the business name. So business name, relatively simple. Limited liability, much more complex. And if you go to the sixth point, which is the tax treatment. For tax treatment, it's a lot of deep subject, and in our subsequent video we will go into it. But I can tell you, for business name, you are considered as an individual, so your tax is mainly personal taxes that you need to pay. Whereas for limited liability, you are considered as a company and you need to pay company related taxes. Next episode or next set of slides, we will now go into details. What tax do you need to pay as a business name versus what you need to pay as a limited liability? So please follow us so that you can be part of our next slide and discussing this same subject. Thank you very much.